Journal entry update 1. Finding a new place to land on the planet we call Wenora was a challenge. We sandwich the scarab between two quagmires that, while teeming with life and learning, are rather dangerous. We will have to take it slow. We set Luna on the path to map this world around us and to uncover data and materials. We know we are infected with these spores. I am hopeful for a cure. One little problem: Sally has some tentacle-like creature attached to her suit. It is excreting some foul stuff as well. I need to make my way to her to get these things off her before she can explore further. Dave, ranking crew member since most are dead, and science officer.
Hey everybody, it's Doug here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to episode 3 of our playthrough of Unsettled on the planet of Wenora, where we are playing task B of the 3 tasks that come in the box for this planet. Okay, well, since we've heard from Dave, we're going to look at his board, since we have a couple things I want to talk through. On the last episode, I did catch, for some reason I thought this was a mistake, but it wasn't. This is correct. Remember, we had to tick it down twice to get to the tendril transport that he dealt with that ended up getting him this. So this is his correct dice right now. It's 1, 2, 3. So I didn't make an error there, so Luna's not going to call me out. But I do want to say, I also said I made a tactical mistake having him go up in robotics, and I didn't change it because of these, but I didn't. It wasn't really a tactical mistake. One, I think some of the robotics breakthroughs are some of the best in the game because they allow you to have Luna do extra stuff, and that's really valuable. But also, we need this comprehension to not only research the research facility for free, which let me just show you what that looks like. To research it, it costs us either a time, or we have to have comprehension in robotics, and that's what we're going to have. So we'll be able to get that research hut out, or research facility out onto the board without spending time, because we will have that comprehension. And in addition to that, again, the robotics comprehensions are very valuable. We also need it to solve the research that we need a comprehension in both robotics and in chemistry to obviously help us get over this. We also need someone with a stress, which I think is probably about to happen. But with that said, let's continue on. We're going to get started with our new turns. Now, there isn't a turn order. I can go with either one of the characters. And there's also, again, no order in how we place our cubes, our focus cubes, or how we go about taking our turn. Like, I've been moving Luna first because it's been convenient, but I probably won't always do that because I want Luna to use Luna as strategically as possible. She did, however, gather us some data last turn, so thank you, Luna. That was awesome.
Thank you, Doug.
And I do want to remind everybody that Dave does have this when he's going to go up in science next, which is also going to help him with his sideboard of Chrononaut. But he will have this to be able to use then, and we can remove a spore cloud from your node, which will probably be useful because he's about to leave one behind as he moves back through the scarab towards Sally, who has these tendrils attached to her, as you heard in the journal entry. So I think we're going to take Sally's turn first, actually, this time around, and one of the reasons being is because I want to see how far I can go, or what I have to do I need to get this thing off her. Now remember that we have this problem, and I kept the puck on her right now because this is a problem for her, even though we can explore this again. I just want to remind everybody of this. We have these things, and it says, when engaged, when place this near your dashboard, when you enter a node, that means if she moves, this will happen. Is that terrible right now? I don't know. I have my orange die, my traverse, or my whatever die that is, energy die at 3, so it's not the worst thing in the world, and it does give us some material. So we might actually want to move right now and have those sticky tendrils produce some materials as I guess they rip apart, she's moving, or whatever the case may be. Now, she doesn't have a lot of apprehension, so, and I'm working my way through my thoughts on the turn with you. I hope that's okay. I'm thinking about moving her here. However, that would put her out of range from Dave for this turn. That might be okay. I think I will be sending Dave that direction as well, while Luna continues to explore this region of the map. The good news is it doesn't take any time, but we don't know what's going to happen here. She will get comprehension. I do think this is going to be the play. So for her first action, we're not going to move Luna yet. I'm still debating on what I want to do with Luna, but we are going to move her and we're going to move her here. So let's do that. Sally's going to move in this direction. Oh, that was beautiful. Look, it costs no extra time. It's another build site. It is the crystalline forest. That is really, I love the artwork on here. It's so beautiful. And it does give her some time and movement going down here, but nothing right away. That's awesome. So she moves over here, and the only thing that happens, well, there's two things that happen. She gains an insight. Yay. And when we do this, I believe that when I get to collect that, it's actually going to go into our pool of stuff not on the board. So it says, when I looked that up, it says specifically to, here we go. Add a material, one material from the crew's stockpile. So maybe I think it would be left in the space. I'm going to play it that way. Tell me if that's incorrect. I'll show you that in a moment. But we do have a couple things to do. She needs to tick down a die because of the tendrils. So we'll take that. It's taking her focus away. It's drawing her attention and making her work a little harder for things. So this is her dice right now. And we're going to get on with her the rest of her turn. That was not a bad move. It got her some, we're going for engineering so we can get to this, or whatever. Yeah, engineering comprehension so we can use this ability as well. We'll get there, almost there. We got a little more time to get that done. I wish, though, maybe we can get some more. We can investigate there or theorize and get some more insight. That would kick Dave up over for this turn. That wouldn't be such a bad thing. So as you can see, I put a material on Sally's node. It does say from the stockpile. It doesn't say from the stockpile to, wait. Oh, it's just materials add. Oh, add one material, add remove. This is add. Add one material from the crew's stockpile. I don't know what that means because our stockpile is, I don't know if it goes on the map or it goes directly into our stockpile. So let's do this. It's a hard game. I'm going to put it in a stockpile, but please, I'm going to look through the rules as well. If I have to correct that, I will. Okay, end of conversation on that. We'll move on. I put it in the stockpile for now. It seems like it's a pretty bad penalty, meaning that we have to tick down our focus die, so it might be worth it. Okay, so she has moved, and that's going to be the end of that. That's her free movement. She could traverse and move further. She could even traverse and move further back, but that's going to tick down another die. I'd rather use those die for other things. Like maybe... I don't know, maybe I think we're going to theorize so I can kick Dave over on his comprehension now. That would be very helpful. Then he can collect some, yeah, that's a good idea since he can't theorize. He could. His die is down to the bottom, which means it would cost him time, not focus. That's bad. So I think we're going to do that. Okay, so just backing out a little bit here. We're going to take this die. This is not great because she's going to end up needing to rest a lot of dice pretty quickly, and she's going to do this, and we're going to theorize, which means that she is going to get a comprehension, which is awesome. But it also says if you use this die, she gets one, and another explorer gains a comprehension. That doesn't have to be somebody on their node. So here's how this works. Going back over to Dave, he also had some realizations, and he comprehended robotics. So we're going to move this back down to here. We're going to flip it over to Wonder and start researching chemistry. Okay, that's the chemistry symbol for that. But what we also then do is we get to take a comprehension off of the track here. We're also going to get a robotics breakthrough. We'll do that in just a second. Going back to Dave's board, we're going to place, no, we're not going to place this here. We're going to place this here. It doesn't matter. This is important. We want to place these in, I think it doesn't matter what order you place them in, I think. If I did screw that up, that's bad. I think it says, I'm going to go through the rules on that as well. In fact, I have them right here. I might as well just jump out and see what that says as I mess up all my boards. But I don't think you have to do this. I think you can place it in unlocking. When you gain comprehension, you place it on one of the 4 comprehension slots on your dashboard. You may fill the slots in whatever order you wish. Okay, so that matters a lot in this case. So that doesn't stop us from getting this, but it does get us this comprehension. And then we're going to get a cool robotics breakthrough for our guy Dave. Let's see what he gets. So I'm just shuffling them up and see what we get here. Deploy mechanized puff. Okay, now this allows us to remove spore clouds. Oh, which I have to do on Sally's. This is still Sally's turn. I got to put a spore cloud out. Remove a spore cloud from Luna's node. That's helpful, and it cost us a data, which we have a couple in reserve now. And basically, that's what we're basically giving orders to Luna to do something, and that's why it costs data. She's using the things she's learned to be able to do new stuff, right? So that was what happened with Dave when he theorized. I think technically that would happen on his turn. It's not a big deal in what order. We're not going to use that mechanized puff in his turn anyway, so it doesn't matter. I do want to point out that this now does have a spore cloud on it as she moved away from that space. Now, what does that mean? We haven't really dealt with it yet. I read it, but we haven't dealt with it yet. If, let's say, Dave started his turn there on this, he would gain distress. And yeah, that's how that works. So, yeah, not good. But anyway, that was one of her dice action. Let's look at the other ones. Okay, we're going to rest this die. So that will go up to 2. I'll leave that there, and I'll tick the time up. I don't need to do it on camera. We're still fine. We're not going to lose any endurance quite yet. But what do I want to do with this? I could use it to gather energy. It's just a thing we can do. Charge power. You just do it. It would tick this one down, but it would give us some energy. Energy could be useful later. Or I could traverse. Now, that would give her another move, and I could move here and explore this, and then he can come across in one turn and connect with her on that. Remember, you don't leave a spore cloud behind until you leave the node. I think that's what we're going to do. I don't know if it's the best idea, but we're going to do that. We're going to tick that down 1, and hopefully this does not cost us 2 time, but let's see what we get here. It does not. Man, we've been so lucky on this. Wow. If we were a fungal host, we get to soak up energy. Look at this thing. If you're a fungal host, we get to tick up a die 3 times. That's pretty cool. Right now, our fungal host is Dave. That's good. But she moves here at the cost of 1 time, which I'll show you that in a second because it's going to matter soon. And she also gains another comprehension, so she's now 1 away from getting an engineering comprehension. And then she'll move over to robotics, I think, after that, since Dave is tracking now towards chemistry. We'll see how it plays out. All right. That was all of her dice. She still has Luna to go, and I think I know what I want to do with Luna. But before we do that, 2 things need to happen. She did leave behind another spore cloud right here, and this goes up 1 more. We're about to flip over, which means everybody's going to lose an endurance. That's not so terrible. I mean, we've got some time, I think, and we're doing a good job at uncovering and exploring the map. We really don't need much more from an exploration standpoint. We have built numerous build sites. We might be able to get some cool stuff. We got to remember, Luna, and we got to build our research facility. We got to get Luna back there with an infected, stressed out, or what do you call it, distressed person, and also have comprehension plus 3 data. We have 2 now. We'll get more data. Not too worked up about that. All right, let's have her do the things that she wants Luna to do now. All right, Sally is going to have Luna move. And I think she's going to move here first, so let's do that.
Hello, Sally. Would you like me to move to a new region? I see tentacles.
Okay, Luna has moved. Let's take a look at this. This is interesting. We have this Antizoic forest, and you can see, again, super cool art behind there, and I love the way that looks. And it has an action on it. We can find respite, which will allow us to tick up one of our focus cubes. That's awesome. And then if we move on to the space from this direction, we're going to gain an insight and lose a time. We go down, which we can't. We gain insight, but that's going right there, and that's what Luna discovered. And then I think she might as well gather some data. That seems like a good thing to do. We need data. She can then collect it and move and continue to explore on Dave's turn.
Scanning for data.
Well, that wasn't great. Luna didn't find too many things of interest on that space right there. It just got a little bit of data. She could stay there and search for more and then collect it or analyze for more. But we remember collecting it as an action from one of our dice, so we can't actually do something with that. We'll have to see. Again, I can tell in my voice I'm still dealing with the remnants of COVID, so I do apologize. I also don't feel 100%, which sucks, but it is what it is. So if you hear that in my voice, that's what it is, and I'll just continue to say I'm sorry for that until it gets better. All right, now that was the end of Sally's turn. Now, unlike a lot of games, we don't go back and forth. The things happen as they happen. So we're going to go right on to Dave's turn right now. So for Dave's turn, I know I'm going to do this. I'm going to set this die aside right here because we're going to use that for our rest action. We're not going to do it yet. Not that it triggers anything. I guess it doesn't matter. We're going to do it now. We'll do that now. So that's going to tick up 1. It's also going to give him an insight. And it'll change the time, but that's going to give us an insight here. That's good. And then we'll go back to our time track. And as you can see, this is going to now loop around and hit this spot. And I'll show you what that does now. It goes back to here. Okay, now let's take a look at that. Now, the good news is we haven't had anything happen where we go down in our opinion of each other. It's called trust. So right now we're still very trusting of one another. We have to use an action like support, or I think there's another action. I think it's support or recover. It's recover that reduces that because we're being selfish and just spending time on ourselves, so we lose some trust. But there's some other ways to lose trust. We'll deal with that as we cross those bridges, but we haven't yet. Touching base on Sally's board, just to show you what happens, our endurance goes down 1 there. Now, I haven't seen in the first, because I've only played the Wenora A a few times. I haven't played a lot of the other planets, but I haven't seen a scenario where these go down at different rates based on the different players. They seem to go down at the same rate. We'll see. Also, I took her dice off. These are her focus cubes. These are her current cubes right here. Then with Dave, we got this. We already did that, but we do lose the endurance here as well. And then we can move on with the rest of Dave's turn. Now we got a 3 here. This is pretty good. We could use this to investigate again on the spot he's on. We had pretty good luck with that. We got this, absorb pearlescence. That's pretty good, and as a fungal host, which gives us advantages in some areas. Or we could theorize. You don't want to theorize because that's not going to help us that much. This is our die we just rested up to 1. Not great. We could have recovered that, but I didn't want to damage our trust yet. We can, I think we're going to take our free move. I'll show you what, wait, do I want to gather? I know it. We're going to gather materials, what we're going to do, because there's 2 left in that space. So let's take his green 3 die. We'll show you what we're going to do with that. We are going to use his 3 die here. We'll tick it down to 2. This allows us to collect 2 materials from the board. So Dave has collected these 2, and they're going to go in here for our uses, and that's great. So that's what he did with his green die. He rested his blue die. He's only got his orange die left. Let's see what he's going to do. Okay, well, here's a bit of a problem. So we're going to use our free move to go back here. That is going to put a spore cube there, I think, but we're going to have to, someone's going to have to take a spore cube eventually, right? I mean, it's just the way it is. So that's his free move. I still have his die. I think we'll do Luna right now while I think about whether or not I want him to move to her or her to move to him. Probably going to have him move in there. Someone's got to get a distress at some point, and that's just the way it goes. So I think what we'll do is we're going to use this die to traverse, and I'll show you what that looks like. So when we traverse, we're going to put that die here. We'll tick it down 1. That is going to give him another insight, which is good, and it allows us to move. Now, if our other character was with us, and this may be what we do with Sally, we can move them together as part of this action. That might be something we do next turn, but not this turn. So what we're going to do then with Dave is he is going to traverse over to here. Now on the Scarab, by the way, the Scarab does have abilities. I'm not using them just as a point because it says in the early points you shouldn't, but I think going forward, if I do another playthrough, I will use a random Scarab with some special abilities. He moves there. Now remember, he is a fungal host, so he can do this. But we have to have a die to do that. We don't have one. He might do it next turn. So being a fungal host is great. And he doesn't have he can't use this ability. Like, he can't discard it yet. But that comes before this. So until he gets science comprehension, or chemistry comprehension, which he's working on, he can't actually use this. He can, however, use the deploy mechanized puff, but we're not worried about that yet either. Okay, that was his traverse action, so he is there with Sally, and on his next turn, he's probably going to go first because we want him to remove the tentacles from her. That would be very helpful. And by the way, we don't get any benefit from that. That's terrible. Okay, well, let's move on to Luna. Dave doesn't see a lot of value in Luna. Well, we can't do it anyway, collecting this data, so we're just going to leave it there. She is going to take a move action. Dave's going to ask her to move north now.
Moving to a new node. This may take a moment.
Luna's doing a great job of exploring this region for us. So what do we have here? We have Bleeding Clothrus Grove. Again, I'm just letting you absorb that cool artwork. And now it says, when entering, if you don't possess a fungal host. That is interesting. We're going to, if we don't, we're going to take a distress there. So that's okay. Not a big deal. Luna ignores all that. But, man, going in there, we get comprehension in 3 different directions. Of course, we only do 2 right now, but that's pretty good. And that is Luna's turn. I think for her she's going to analyze and look for some more data there to see if she can get a good load of data.
Scanning for data.
Okay, Luna found some data in that node, and so she is probably going to collect that next turn before she moves on, because there's 2 there, and that's the most she can collect in a turn anyway. I think she'll probably do that, but that's going to require that one of our characters use their die. That's okay, because we can use one of the dice from our guy Dave before he on his next turn, not this turn. Okay, let's take a look one last time for Dave as he ends his turn. So as we end things, we're just going to collect his dice in their current state. That's what it looks like. That's not too bad. So I think, though, let's continue on and see where we go next. Okay, I think next up we are going to take Sally's turn, and we're going to do a number of interesting things with her. Now, let's take a look at this card, because I think this is important. It says, two scientists must be present. We can place a die here. If it's our energy die, we unstick the tentacles, we get an insight. Can only be performed by a non-engaged explorer, so we can't do this, but so we still have to wait for Dave to do that. If we move, we're going to get another material, but she's going to then also have to tick down another die, and her dice aren't doing all that well. I almost want to do a recover with her on this one to get it all the way up to 3. She's not a fungal host, so she can't take advantage of any of the things over there. I do think that we're going to rest this die, but I'm going to put it aside, her wonder die. I think we're going to put it aside for a moment, and she's going to do a couple of things. I think she will. We're not going to move her this turn. In fact, we're not going to go anywhere until Dave's turn. That way we don't kick up any fungal blah blah blahs. But what she will do is she is going to, let's take a look at her board. She is going to use this die, but not here. We'll deal with that in a moment. And while I would love for her to use this for a traverse, we're not going to move. I might put it, if I put it in recover, we're going to flip these over, and I don't know that I want to do that. Of course, this altruist with theorize is not bad to give 2 insight to another explorer. What does his intellectual do? Oh, but look, it continues to recover 2 insight. I think that's a typo. I think that's meant to say we gain trust. I will look that up. So it's not terrible, but that goes on the recover spot. Or maybe not. Maybe we still get, we only tick up twice, but we get to 2 insight, and we do still suffer from not being friendly, not being friends. So I have a couple of options. I could do that. That would recover this die to 3. That's pretty good. But normally you want to do it with a die like this. So if I rest that die, then I would recover another one. I think, though, we're not going to do that. We're just going to, this is a little inefficient, but I think will be helpful for us. We're going to go here and gain an insight for, she won't gain an insight. I don't know if that's worth it. Or we can have Luna gather that data. That's probably, no, this needs a blue die. Never mind that as well. So we're going to gather, oh wait, this is green. We need blue for data. We can't do that. So I think what we'll do is we're going to investigate with this die. That'll put us down to 1. We're going to then drop this puck down here, and we'll take it from here. What do we get? Azure Paste Rift. A series of fleshy tubes peel open their tops, revealing pools of bright paste and emitting a strange energy. A mold-covered creature stops to investigate. When it touches the paste, it vanishes, reappearing moments later with a hardened crystalline shell and several companions. If they can do it... This is bad. Well, actually, this isn't bad. Immediately, if able, gain 2 energy. We can, so we're going to do that. But then it says, plunge arms deep into the paste. We're going to go get this botanical crystals. Place all other explorers onto this node. All explorers gain an insight, and oh, that's actually pretty good, pretty good. And where is the thing I'm looking for? Here it is, botanical crystals. So we're going to put that right there. But immediately we are going to gain 2 energy from our reserve into our usable pool. That's pretty good because then we don't have to take that action to do it. I could even get more if I use her orange die to get some more energy. Of course, that means she'll have a die again down at the bottom. Yeah. Anyway, that's not so terribly bad, is it? Yeah, that's actually worked out very well. Now, how do I know that? Well, it says right here: plus charge, deplete 1 power from the crew's dynamo. So we've charged our dynamo twice with that. That's what that ability let us do. And now we're back to, she investigated, so she could put her die on that card to gain that ability. That's not bad. I mean, we might want to save it. I don't know. I mean, we're already there. There's no pain in this at all. Just it would tick up her comprehension, and she would then get a robotics. Engineering insight. So she could take this die. It's going to knock it down. Let's take a look at this. I think that's what we're going to do here. She's going to play her orange die here. That'll tick it down 1, but we're going to get this. So we're going to gain this. We'll gain a anomaly for that. We'll deal with that in a moment. But place all other explorers on this node. All explorers gain a comprehension and get to tick up a die. That's really useful. Now, I'm going to assume maybe I can't tick up this die. I don't know. Anyway, Dave appears there, poof, like magic. He's on the spot already. And then we both get to tick up an action there. So she's going to move this to robotics, I think. Yeah, robotics. There we go. But she gets, and I'm not going to go all the way over the board to show you this. She gets this. She gets to place there. Now she has access to this. Now she has tick down a die. Touch everything. For each time symbol you cross on a node edges using movement or traverse action this turn, gain 2 insight. That's actually very, very cool. We also gain an anomaly for her botanical crystals that she just managed to get. Let's see what that anomaly is going to do. So she needs science comprehension, so we got to get that. Well, robotics. So that's what we're working on right now, robotics. Vacuum up fine particles. Discard all explorers within 1 node lose a distress. That's pretty good. We'll put that right there. We're putting it above there. Normally there's a space for there on the left-hand side for these, but I'm limited on space. So I'm putting them up right above their boards. So that is good, and that means that that's done. So we'll continue to figure out. Now I can tick up a die right now. So does Dave. We'll get to that in a minute. I mean, if I tick this one up, yeah, we'll do that, because here's what's going to happen. So when I now rest, which will use a time, this is going to go up 1 more, so we'll be at 2. That's good. I will tick up the time on the track. It's not urgent, so I won't show it to you. And then that's going to be really, except for Luna, that's going to be the end of her dice turn. So we'll just put those out there. This goes back. This is discarded. We have completed this. That's awesome. And then we're going to go do one more thing with Dave, and then we're going to take care of her actions with Luna this turn. And again, I don't want Sally to move this turn because of the spores. I don't want to kick up spores and then have Dave get distress. Though maybe I do. Maybe I do want to do that. I'll think about that. But before we do that, because she can still take a traverse action, I want to complete this for him, because he popped over there too. He gets to do this and pick a die to go up on. I believe we're going to pip up his wonder die, or wonder cube there. Okay, that's what we did with him. That is regarded to the Azure Paste Rift and the crystalline stuff that we got. Okay, so now that we're looking at the board, I mean, Luna's done a great job at clearing a lot of this area, but I don't want her to move yet. That sucks. What I want her to do is stay there and collect that data, since it's 2, and Dave can actually have her collect the data. Interesting dilemma, I would say. Interesting dilemma. Now, we're getting close. We do need to get this comprehension up to be able to then build this and be prepared to do our research. But I need data, and I'm missing 1 data that I need for that. So I think she will not move Luna this turn, which means I can analyze there again. I'll analyze there for more. Yeah, I can only get 2. I think she's going to stay there and analyze materials. No, data, because then we can use them. She's going to look for more data. It might be worth... I don't know if we're ever going to get over there. It does. This ability sucks, and I'm not sure if this is the right move or not. I think we're going to skip... I know this is painful, but I think we're going to skip Luna this turn for Sally so that Dave can have her suck that up and then move. I think we're going to do that. Okay, that's going to be... Is that the official end? I still haven't moved Sally. We do need someone to have a distress. So let's do this. Sally is going to move back to the scarab. And the reason she's doing that is we're getting ready to perform this. Now remember, we have to perform all these tasks before we run out of endurance. We're going to have enough data to do it with. We need to have a present explorer. We need to have Luna there, so that's why I'm moving back that direction. We must have both... now this is going to be Dave, but he's going to also be the one distressed, so he can do all of this. Must be present, meaning that we must have comprehension for robotics, and we must have comprehension for chemistry, which he's about to do. So, or hopefully do. He will. He only needs to move up 2 ticks. We can get that done somehow, some way. But that does put a distress on this space right here, or not a distress, but a spore, which will distress him when he moves off of it because of the spore. Now again, if you get 2 distress in this particular planet, this particular scenario, then you will gain a hallucination, which actually gives you some really odd abilities. So it's kind of good and bad, I guess, if you want to look at it that way. But that's going to be the end of Sally's turn completely. We are now done with her. Let's go on to Dave. Dave's first action is going to be to make a free move. Well, do I want... Wait, maybe not. I got plenty... I don't need any energy. I think his first action, actually, is going to be to use this space because he is a fungal host to tick this die up to 3. That's going to be his first action. He has to use that die to do that, but that's fine. And then, for his second action, he will move. That's going to get him a distress. Now, what does a distress do? When gained, we're going to become unfriendly. The moment you have 2 or more of these, you hallucinate. So right now, the other thing I have to do with this is cover up a spot. And I think we're just going to cover up recover. So don't need to do that right now. So that's covered. When we're infected, we start to lose actions. So, but we also have to do this. We are no longer friends, but if we go down again, we're going to pit down 2 dice. That's really bad. And so we don't want to do that, but that's where we're at right now. I just realized this probably isn't going to work for Dave because this is going to flip over and become his recover action. I can't put it on there. I think we'll leave it on recover because he's probably going to do some kind of support action to gain our friendliness back up, or maybe our Sally might do that. I don't know, but we'll leave that right there for now. Also, Sally's going to flip hers over, but I think it stays. No, it goes to Theorize. Theorize is great for her. Now she can actually next turn, like for example, could kick up quite a bit of theory for Dave, but Dave needs to do this on his own because we got to get him to a point where he gains comprehension. So he moved back to the scarab. That's great. He has 2 dice left. What's he going to do with those? This kind of bites. I don't know if we're going to get the comprehension done in this turn. It might be next turn. Because what we're going to do here is we're going to gather. We're going to put that there, tick that down, together the 2 data cubes that are on Luna's node. We're going to use Luna to do that. So we have just done that.
I have discovered new data. Uploading now.
And then having done that, he's going to move her to here. I think I have a plan. We still have to move, right? We're going to have to move into that space, but we have 3 data, so we can do this. I think he's going to activate his ability of deploy mechanized puff, remove a spore cloud from Luna's node, limit once per turn. That will cost us one of the data we just collected, so Luna goes puff, puff, puff.
Puff. Puff, puff. That was a lot of work. You are welcome.
And we remove this spore cloud from that space. That means we can move on to it, build our site there, not worry about spores at the moment. It's going to cost us a little time. That's okay. We could move north, but I think since Luna's already there, I think this is the right move, because now I only have a green die left. I can't investigate on the scarab. What can I do with that? I mean, I can use it for something else. I have to rest it. Duh. So we're going to rest this die. It's going to go up to 3, and we're going to spend another time. He spent most of his dice this turn not on himself, or and spent it on other things. It's interesting. That ticks up our time one more, so that's where we're at. Not too bad. Now I did my free move, so I can't do anything else. All we're going to do now is gather up our dice, our cubes rather, and he's in good shape. Look at that. That's pretty good, because he got to do the soak up energy at the one place he was at where he is the fungal host. He soaked up the energy, moved into the scarab. We got this ticked up. This was used to gather enough data to do what we need to do. That is fantastic. We can probably get this done next turn. If I have Sally go first, she can use her altruist now. She won't gain anything, so it doesn't matter what die she uses. We're going to have to rest her energy die anyway. And another explorer gains 2 insight. That will kick up our guy. He can take care of everything in that space as long as Luna's there. He can build the site. He will have theorized enough to get a comprehension in chemistry, which will give him another chemistry breakthrough, and he will be able to complete the mission there. It doesn't matter what dice. He's got 3 dice that he can use on this. He does need to use... no, it doesn't matter. He's got this. He can get this done in 1 turn. This will be no action to build this. It'll be a free action, because it won't cost no time, because he's got the comprehension for it. He can do that first. Remember, we can do these things, and he's already got comprehension for robotics, so he's in good shape. I'm excited about where this is going. We're probably going to get this task done next turn, because he's also got the infection going on, which he'll have to clear, but that's okay. That's okay. Now, we don't want to lose any more trust, because trust, that will start to hurt our dice. So we do want to gain trust again. We can do that, and then then Sally, see, she can move on there after Dave. No, we need Sally go first, since she could then get rid of his stress. He might use a support action. It's got to be another player. Never mind. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But we're going to be able to get a lot done next turn. We might not be able to get everything I want done next turn. We'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing and all that stuff. Please do so. And if you're getting to the end of these videos, I'm leaving you a little treat. If you caught it in the last video, please let me know. Just put a note down below to see what you caught. I'm curious to see if people are making it all the way to the end. I hope you do. This has been a lot of fun so far, and I think it's going to be more fun as we go. So thanks so much. Take care. I'll talk to you in the next episode. Bye-bye.
Poor Sally. The tentacles are all over her. I wish she would stand still for a moment, and now she is in the scarab with those things coming out of.